Well, hello, everybody. Thank you again for joining us for another 100 Lessons Learned from 100 Christians. The lives and lessons learned from 100 Christians back in the office. All right, J.R.R. Tolkien. If you want to remember his life or his writings in one sentence, the smallest person can change the future. All right, he was the author of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and it taught us that the greatest acts of courage often come from the most unexpected individuals. His stories emphasize that every decision has significance, and even the smallest person can make a difference in the world. His name was John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, 1892 to 1973. He was an English writer, philosophist, and academic, best known for his fantasy works, again, including The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. His writings have a profound impact on modern fantasy literature and popular culture, and they are deeply infused with his personal beliefs, experiences, and his academic interests. His life and teachings reflect the complex interplay between his love for language, mythology, and his profound Christian faith. He was born, again, January 3rd, 1892, actually in South Africa, where his father worked as a bank manager. After the death of his father, his mother moved the family back to England, where Tolkien grew up in a devoutly Catholic household. His love for language and storytelling emerged early, and he developed a fascination with ancient languages, mythology, and folklore. He attended Exeter College in Oxford, where he excelled in philology. I think that's the study of language, and later became a professor of Anglo-Saxon at the University of Oxford. His academic work, particularly on Old and Middle English literature, laid the groundwork of his creative writing. It was during this time that he began to develop the mythology of Middle-earth, which would later become the backdrop for his most famous works. His literary career began with the publication of The Hobbit way back in 1937, a children's story that introduced readers to the richly imagined world of Middle-earth and its inhabitants, including hobbits, elves, and dragons. The book was well received and established Tolkien as a significant voice in fantasy literature. His following work, The Lord of the Rings, published in 3 volumes from 1954 to 1957, quite a few years later, further expanded this universe, weaving a complex narrative that explores themes of friendship, sacrifice, and the struggle between good and evil. The story of Frodo Baggins and his quest to destroy the One Ring has captivated readers for generations, and its rich character development and intricate world building have set a standard for fantasy literature. His works are notable not only for their imaginative landscapes, but also for their deep moral and philosophical underpinnings. He often explored themes of power, corruption, heroism, and the importance of hope in the face of despair. His characters grapple with moral choices, reflecting his belief in the significance of free will and personal responsibility. His faith was a profound influence on his writing. While he did not explicitly allegorize his works, his belief in the ultimate triumph of good over evil and the importance of grace can be found throughout his narratives. He once stated that the tale is not for the reader, but for the story, emphasizing that his stories were meant to convey deeper truths rather than serve as straightforward parables. In letters to friends and correspondence, he articulated his views on mythology and storytelling, arguing that myths and fairy tales are essential for understanding the human experience. He believed that such stories have the power to convey profound truths about existence, morality, and the divine. His famous essay on fairy stories explores the significance of fantasy as a means to escape and as a way to engage with reality. He also emphasized the importance of community, friendship, and loyalty, which are central themes in his work. The camaraderie among the members of the Fellowship of the Ring illustrates his belief in the strength found in unity and mutual support. His legacy is monumental. His works have not only defined the modern fantasy genre, but have also inspired countless authors, filmmakers, and artists. The adaptations of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit into films, just in the last few years, have introduced his stories to new generations, further solidifying their place in popular culture. His influence extends beyond literature. His themes of environmental stewardship, the value of myth, and the moral complexities of human existence resonate in contemporary discussions about ethics, immorality. The detailed languages, histories, and cultures he created have inspired a dedicated fan base and scholarly interest, leading to an entire field of study around his work. In conclusion, his life and teachings encapsulate a rich tapestry of creativity, faith, and scholarly rigor. His contributions to literature not only have enchanted readers, but have also provided profound insights in human nature, morality, and the power of storytelling. As a devout Christian, a lover of languages, and a masterful storyteller, Tolkien's legacy endures, reminding us of the beauty and significance of myth in understanding our world and ourselves. His works continue to inspire readers to seek hope, courage, and fellowship in their own journeys through life. As I read through this, I guess the one part that really kind of jumped out at me was how he emphasized the role of grace. I can think back to the movies, the story of the Fellowship of the Ring, and a couple times when grace was extended to the enemies, if you will. And that kind of really popped out at me. So, all right. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Take care. God bless. Have a great weekend. Bye.